It was my first time, truly, it was. But my mother acted as if I'd lost my mind, and everything changed instantly. My name is Tim, I'm 17, and almost done with school. Just a few more weeks, and then summer before college. My sister, Emily, got married a month ago and moved to an apartment with her husband, leaving behind a lot of her things, including her clothes. Emily is stunning, with dark hair, green eyes, and a trim figure, and a smile that could charm anyone. Mom and Dad went away for the weekend, and I found myself in Emily's room, not sure why. Seeing her clothes in the closet, I thought it would be fun to try them on. I picked one of her prom dresses, the pink one with the huge skirt. I quickly stripped and put it on, but it wouldn't zip up, my waist was too big. I took it off and looked in her dresser, finding panties, and decided to try them on. In another drawer, I found a padded panty brief, probably from when she was younger. I put it on, then some pantyhose, and finally, a corselet. I struggled with the hooks until I secured them and tightened the laces. Looking down, I saw that I suddenly had some chest, so I adjusted the dress, and this time it fit perfectly. Looking in the mirror, I saw a boy in a dress, but I had a chest and a trim waist. My hair was still in a ponytail, so I let it down, which slightly improved my appearance. I decided to go all in. I took off the dress, sat at the vanity, and tried applying makeup, doing the best I could. Then, I brushed my hair into a more feminine style and put the dress back on. Though not exactly pretty, it wasn't as bad as I feared. I found matching shoes and stepped into them. That's when my sister Emily walked in and saw me. We exchanged glances, her expression reflecting shock while I struggled with a lump in my throat and embarrassment coloring my face. Not bad, Tim, but there's room for improvement. Let me assist you, she offered. With little say in the matter due to my apprehension, I acquiesced to her guidance. She removed my makeup, reapplied it, curled my hair with an iron, and added a spritz of something. Finally, she handed me some lipstick. Upon gazing into the mirror, a feminine figure stared back at me. Not conventionally pretty, yet not unattractive, nor resembling myself. With a bit more effort, Tim, you could be stunning. Are you up for it? I stared at the girl in the mirror, overwhelmed by the transformation, and slowly nodded, without fully understanding why. Something compelled me to let her proceed with the makeover. 2 hours later, the girl reappeared, now dressed in a short tan skirt, a pink blouse with puffy short sleeves, and matching pink heels. My once shapeless hair was styled in a swept-back fashion, accented with pink and gold earrings and a delicate pendant resting on my chest. That's much better. You look really nice, Tim. Thanks. Want to go to the grocery store with me? No thanks, Emily. I was just curious to see how I would look, that's all. Okay then, have a nice time. Then she departed, offering no comment on my attire or any warnings to stay out of her wardrobe. I remained dressed for the remainder of the day, returning her belongings that night and removing all traces of makeup. The incident lingered in my mind, yet I didn't dwell on it and never attempted it again. Life continued as my parents returned home, and I graduated on schedule, anticipating a free summer ahead. You'll need money for school, Tim. Are you planning to laze around all summer or find a job? My mom inquired. Well, a bit of both, I suppose. I had intended to relax for a portion of it anyway, Mom, why? I responded. Because we have an opening in our office, and Emily mentioned that you would be a good fit, she revealed. Considering that my mother worked in an office predominantly occupied by women, I could only surmise that Emily had divulged my venture into her closet and how I appeared. Now, my mother was not only aware but also proposing that I work alongside her, presumably as a girl. Initially, my instinct was to deny everything, but upon further consideration and a glance at my mother, I realized that refuting my exploration of Emily's clothes would be futile. I didn't confess, of course, I simply didn't deny it. It was a one-time experiment that turned out fine, but it pays $12 per hour, and we could carpool to save money, Tim. Just imagine the adventure, she enthused. All I could think of were the potential complications. Then came the bombshell. I informed them you'd start on Monday, so we have until then to get you ready. That's 5 whole days, plenty of time, she declared. I felt defeated. What exactly do you mean by get me ready, Mom? I challenged, hoping to shift the responsibility back to her, but it backfired when she detailed her plans. As a young lady, you'll need your hair styled and your nails done, naturally. We'll ensure you have an appropriate wardrobe. And of course, we'll get your other ear pierced, and maybe tidy up your eyebrows with a better arch. You'll also need your own underwear, and perhaps a few new bras, but we'll manage, she explained. Mom! That was a one-time thing, and you know it. I don't want to work as a girl. I protested. I understand, but I gave my word, and we're committed now. Starting Monday, you'll be working in our office. I told them you're my daughter. Dad. He agrees that you can't just sit around all summer, and he believes this will help you become a better person. Now, shall we get started? She proposed. I wanted to protest vehemently, but my mother was a forceful figure, and I relied on both her and Dad to support me through college. I couldn't possibly earn enough to finance my education on my own, so I found myself torn between conforming to my mother's desire for me to dress as a girl or risking not being able to attend school in the fall. Saying a firm no might leave me in a precarious position. However, if I agreed to dress and work as a girl, I'd have ample funds for the upcoming semester, my mother would be forever grateful, and my dad would be reassured, believing it would shape me into a better person, whatever that meant. I already knew what my answer would be, just as my mother did. After all, she orchestrated it this way. Okay, Mom, I relented. She didn't coerce me into wearing dresses, she simply presented me with a series of unfavorable options. This seemed like the least unfavorable. She gestured, guiding me towards my room, but redirected me into Emily's old room. I think this room suits a girl better, don't you? She remarked, not expecting a response. Please undress. I have something to make your skin smooth. She applied the substance all over my body, and after a brief interval, I rinsed it off in the shower, shaved, and washed my hair. When I touched my skin, it felt silky smooth and hairless. From there, the process was much like it was with Emily, except for the hair. My mother set numerous rollers, allowing them to work their magic while I dressed in the clothes she had selected for me. An hour later, I gazed into the mirror, and the same transformed figure greeted me. This time, my hair cascaded in fluffy curls down my back, with bangs framing my face. I wore a sheath dress, sleeveless with a round neckline, all in blue, hitting just above the knees. You should wear the black flats, Tammy. We'll be doing a fair bit of walking today, she advised. Why? Where are we headed? I inquired. To the shops, naturally, and you have a salon appointment at 3. Take this, dear. You don't have pockets anymore, she remarked, handing me a purse. Mom, I dislike the name Tammy. Please don't call me that. It sounds childish, I protested. What name do you prefer, then, dear? She asked. I hadn't given much thought to a girl's name that I liked for myself, so I found myself momentarily at a loss. Then, as fate would have it, the radio announcer introduced a song by Jenny Jackson, and in a spur-of-the-moment decision, I informed my mom that I would go by the name Jenny. She smiled and expressed her approval of the choice before motioning for me to follow her. Being dressed as a girl at home was one thing, but venturing out into the mall was an entirely different experience. I definitely didn't relish the idea of going into the mall dressed like this, but I felt trapped with no alternative. As I mentioned earlier, I was stuck. Mom exited the room, leaving me to ponder in front of the mirror why my parents believed it necessary for me to embrace femininity for the summer. I found no answers and reluctantly made my way out of the room to join her. The journey to the mall lasted about 20 minutes, each minute feeling like torture as I dreaded the possibility of being recognized as a boy in a dress. Stepping inside the mall didn't immediately result in any laughter, but I couldn't shake off the unease. I stuck close to my mom as she led the way inside, up the escalator, and into the lingerie section. While I wasn't entirely clueless, my mom began handing me various items, starting with panties. Feeling embarrassed by the entire ordeal, I remained silent as she quietly added items she deemed necessary. She insisted on a padded panty brief to enhance my hips, claiming it would provide a more rounded shape. The situation escalated in the dress department when she urged me to try on a skirt and a dress. However, I managed to navigate through it without anyone discovering my true identity. On the way home, she made a stop at a small shop where, much to my dismay, I was fitted for silicone forms. Standing there half naked while the woman applied them to my chest was nearly unbearable. We returned home with new shoes, a dozen panties, 2 bras, a skirt, a dress, and the silicone forms. When the woman attached them to my chest, she mentioned that the adhesive would last for at least 3 months, signaling to me that any hope of escaping this madness had vanished. Defeated, I couldn't help but shed a few tears, but my mom reassured me, insisting that I would come to enjoy this new experience if I accepted it. Did I really have any choice? We proceeded to the salon for my appointment, and by the time we left, my hair had been styled into a soft perm, tinted a lighter shade, and my nails had been extended, shaped into an elegant oval, and painted a soft red. When my dad saw me for the first time, all he said was, "Hi Jenny, you look very nice." Wonderful! Now that Dad had seen me, he was complimenting my appearance. The following day consisted of more shopping. We acquired another padded panty brief, pantyhose, rings, earrings, necklaces, socks, shorts, slacks, a coat, 2 nightgowns, and my own makeup. Throughout the week, Mom insisted on teaching me how to apply my own makeup and style my hair, which meant dedicating several hours each day to practice. Adjusting to the silicone forms attached to my chest required learning to sleep on my side or back, mastering the art of putting on a bra, and becoming accustomed to the sensation of the twin mounts pressing against my shirt and shifting with every step. I experimented with going braless twice, quickly realizing the necessity of wearing a bra. Each day brought new lessons, gradually improving my skills in everything from makeup application to hairstyling. Emily dropped by a few times, and while we conversed, she never once mocked me. On Monday morning, clad in the same blue dress that Mom had initially chosen for me, I accompanied her to work. I navigated through the personnel procedures as instructed by Mom, then found myself assigned to another department. Making a conscious effort to avoid forming close bonds, I inadvertently found myself drawn into the company of a group of girls around my age. Our conversations ranged from topics like menstruation, which I found rather off-putting, to subjects like babies, of which I had little knowledge, and boyfriends. On 2 occasions, they attempted to set me up on dates, but I declined each time. I reminded myself that I was dressing this way out of necessity, not because I wanted to become a girl, and the thought of kissing another guy didn't sit well with me. Adapting my behavior and mannerisms came easily, and I quickly adjusted to working in a dress, learning to bend at the knees and perform tasks gracefully. I was accepted for the persona I projected, and time seemed to pass swiftly. By the end of 2 weeks, the routine of getting up and dressing as a girl felt almost natural. I grew accustomed to the snug fit of the clothing, styling my hair, applying makeup, and adopting feminine mannerisms. Since everyone appeared to accept me as the girl I portrayed, I no longer feared being ridiculed. A position opened up in the medical field, offering better pay, and since my primary motive was to earn money, I applied and secured the job. They required me to wear a white nurse's uniform, so Mom and I went shopping for uniforms that evening. We purchased 3 uniforms and a white pantsuit. Mom also insisted on buying white panties and 2 slips to prevent colors from bleeding through the white fabric. Dad likened my appearance in the uniforms to a young Connie Stevens, which I took as a flattering compliment, given her beauty. Throughout the summer, I worked as a nurse. However, when the time came to enroll in college, I informed Mom that I intended to attend State University, but not as a business major. As the moment approached for me to revert to my former self, I realized I couldn't do it. Somehow, I had developed a fondness for being a girl and was reluctant to let go of that identity, especially now. You see, I had met a guy at work named Max, tall and handsome. He asked me out, and for the first time, I broke my own rule and accepted. I won't divulge further details, except to say that he is an excellent kisser. I've decided to attend the nursing school at State, Mom. That way, I can continue working, I announced. But you'll be working as a girl, she exclaimed. Exactly. And I plan to graduate as a girl, Mom. I'm your daughter now. I'm Jenny, remember? And so it was. I pursued nursing school, embraced the benefits of hormones, and by the time I graduated, I had transitioned into a woman. All because of my curiosity about a pink formal dress.